a match I was excited about was seeing Penelope Ford back in the ring. Because I think we all can agree, like she's kind of like a wild card in the women's division. Not necessarily gets a lot of screen time, and some of her in-ring work really has been some great stuff. And tonight, Statlander stood tall by far. Her strength, outshined everything. I think that. I don't know if Penelope Ford really got too much of her go-to moves. I felt like maybe there was a little bit of ring rust. It didn't seem as smooth as a match I've seen her in past. But it was good to see. I hate giving the women's matches deletes just because, usually they're ones. But if we were doing the grades, this one didn't really hit that much for me. I was kind of expecting more. I was watching the clock. 2 minutes in, then boom, right picture in picture. Then it was a 3-minute commercial break. Then they had another 4-ish minutes. And so I was a little bummed about the instant picture in picture again. But
that was unfortunate.
It's nice to see Statlander keep getting this push. So Bonds, what do you think of the match?
I mean, I agree, man. I think the picture in picture was really unfortunate and not necessary. They just had a commercial before the segment before that. There's no need for it. Just let them have the match. It was not a long match. Plus you lose out on the end of the picture in picture anyway. Almost every time you lose like a minute or two of the match. So it's like, but I think overall it was a fine performance from both sides. I think that Statlander is just different level and they're pushing her that way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of why, where you say Ford really didn't get much offense in. I think that was because that's by design. I think that they're really pushing Statlander as his top babyface. That's really strong and able to go at a different level and different pace. And I think that she looked really good tonight. Again, I think it's long term. They're seeing like, hey, this division lacks faces, and we need to build.
I agree.
Yeah, I think Bonds froze.
Yeah, I
agree. I froze. But I think it does lack like really strong faces, and this will be good down the line.
Look at him.
About. He's like, oh,
lax foot.
Again, but
no, man, I agree. Like I was hoping when I got my water, you guys would have been done talking about this match. Just kidding.
But we could switch in.
No, honestly, I'm just joking. I was just kidding a little bit, but I mean, the main reason why I'm kidding is because even if I was the biggest fan of this match, I'd say a good 60% of it was during commercials. I don't know. It just was I don't know. It was hard to get into. But I will say, if you're gonna have picture in picture and you're gonna have commercials, this was the match, unfortunately, that was gonna get that. I mean, it was just they jammed this show packed with so much content. This match was not about hey, take that off. I'm not gonna say that about the factory. I like the factory.
Go on.
What are you doing, SPD?
This match, I'll just say real quick, this match felt like before it even happened, it was just going to be a squash, right? This was not about Penelope Ford and Kris Statlander going back and forth for a number one contender match. This was about Statlander beating the crap out of Penelope Ford again and emphatically staking claim to her spot in the women's division rankings and in the big picture of the show. Penelope Ford, to her credit, looks like $1 million every time she's on screen. I saw somebody comparing her to AEW's Lana. I think unfortunately she's kind of booked a little bit that way. I do think that Penelope has potential in the ring, Bonds, but I don't see any time down the road, anytime soon, her really becoming a player in AEW. I think that Statlander is quickly emerging as that, and I'd love to see Statlander versus Jade one day. That's a matchup I really want to see happen.
Absolutely. We talked about that, on our Sunday Social or Friday Night Flights and Fights about Statlander Jade would be